Hello world, welcome to the 69th video on my channel where I'm building my own digital assistant named Shane, like Jarvis from the Iron Man movies and comics. This is the second video in our Tkinter playlist where we're building a Twitter automation app for a friend. And so I've never built an application that can be deployed for anybody before. So I decided to take on this challenge because I know that deploying capabilities for my digital assistant and creating executable files and consoles will be important. So it's a skill set we'll need to continue advancing Shane. In the previous video, we made a tiny little console, and I got some feedback on how tiny it was, where we could run the unfollow option and we unfollow people who are not following us. So in this video, we made the console much bigger and we added a trending topics function where we can get the top 5 trending topics. And so make sure you've watched my whole Twitter playlist, and I'll put a link in the description for that because we use those functions in this and I don't explain the functions very well. And so let's check out our program real quick. So we're going to run this program real quick. Okay, as you can see, this is much bigger now. So I've changed the font, which we'll go through in the code. And so you'll see now there's a new box where the trending topics will show up, and then a tweet this box, which we haven't programmed yet. All right, so in the previous video, we pressed this unfollow button and watched it work. So in this video, we're going to press this trending topics button. All right, and then we'll see the top 5 trending topics in the US. Now, what I would like to do is have a radio button that says trending topics in the US or select your own location. But these right now are the top 5 trending topics in the US. So hashtag National Nurses Day, Adele, hashtag Chromatica, Craftwork, and hashtag Expose CVS. Alright, so that's our trending topics button. And then we also have this tweet this. So that's just showing that the button works. Soon, this is where you will compose a tweet using one of these trending topics, or compose your own tweet about whatever you want. And then there will be a counter here, and then you just press tweet this. Alright, so that's our progress so far. Close that. And now let's go through the code. So it seems like not that much progress, but it actually takes quite a bit of code to just do that. So in the previous video, we're going to import, starting off from the previous video, we're going to import tkinter.font as font because we increased the font size. Then we're going to, this is my tweet functions. This is my tweet.py file. And so you'll have to watch the whole Twitter playlist. The link will be in the description. And we've added the trends testing. Okay, import web browser was the previous video. This previous video. This was in the previous video. This is where we get to the new video. So we're going to get a list of the trends testing. And we get that from here. So you'll have to watch my previous video. Then we commented out this part, and now we just return this trends list. And then for each trend in the trend, we're going to use an insert function of Tkinter. So we created something called a trending box. And for each trend, we're going to dot insert this capitalization insert, the trend plus a break line, right? So a new line. All right. And then we also added a new button where we insert, which is a method of a text box. And we just wrote this button works. Okay, we've also increased the window size. So let's run it again. So this is 700 pixels by 500 pixels. So that's new. And how you do that is this root.geometry. Then you define it in a string 700 by 500. Okay, this is old code. This is new code. So this bottom frame, so same thing as up here, the frame of root, right? Pass it root, which we defined up here. Then you're going to dot pack side equals bottom. So this is telling Tkinter that you're going to have a top frame, which we could call this top frame if we wanted to, and a bottom frame. Then I created a font size by doing font.capital font and then size 16. This is also where you could define your own font. So if you want Helvetica or Times New Roman, whatever. So I'm only using one font size, and that's 16. If you're going to use multiple font sizes, you may want to consider a different variable. So you could call this 16 underscore font underscore size, and then 22 underscore, etc. This is from our previous video. And then this, even though this is from our previous video, we did add this pad y equals 5 pixels. So what is that? So pad y is the top and bottom. I want 5 pixels in between this right here. This is more than 5 pixels, but that's because I put 10. So in between these two, this label and this text box is 5 pixels. In between this and this button is 5 pixels, and this looks like 10 pixels. So if I added a I here, that's the internal padding. All right, same here. We added pad y equals 5, and we added command equals transactions, which I just showed you. And that is how it calls that function, where we insert each trending topic. Okay, we added the pad y equals 5 to, that's the external padding. And then we added this new label. So nothing too much different from this label that we did in the first video. So watch the first video of this playlist. We did pass it the font size, just like all of these. So how you do that is the title text, so that's here, this is the label. You pass it this font string equals font size, which is here. We just defined it up here, so I'm basically assigning it this 16 font size. Okay. And then we assigned it to the bottom frame, right? So the rest of these in the previous videos is just frame. For me, that's the top frame. But by passing it this bottom frame, you're telling it to put it on the bottom section of the console. And so we pass it the font size, and now I'm going to pass it dot pack side equals top. So what I'm saying is this right here, trending topics, this is actually the top of the bottom frame. So the bottom frame is this whole thing. And if I wanted to add things to the top frame, that would go here. All right, we also added this new feature called text. This is called the text widget. I pass it the bottom frame. The text or foreground is blue. The width is 35 and the height is 6. So you can define the width and height. As you can see from the tweet box, the width is 50 and the height is 5. The border width is 2 and the relief equals ridge. So what does that mean? So when we run our console, you see how this is right here, this ridge. It looks like it's just a border. It doesn't look sunk in and it doesn't look like it's popping out. This text widget looks the same as here. That's what relief, this ridge is. It creates a ridge around it. The border width is 2 and it's required that you have a border width of 2 or more for ridge. So these are both ridges, and this width right here is 2. See how these buttons are raised? That's the default. It looks raised from here. So the default for a text box is sunken, and it looks like this portion is sunken into the console. Then we pass it its font size, and then we pass it the padding of 5. Same with this, except we added a padding of 10. This is a text box or text widget, It's in the bottom frame. Text is blue. The width is 50. The height is 5. Border width is 2. Relief is the ridge. And then we added a tweet button, just like the other buttons. However, the command is tweet this. So when I go up, right now it just inserts the text, this button works. So check out this capital insert. And by pressing tweet this button works. So it inserts, right here, these inserts, it inserts this text, this button works, into here. If I press trending topics, it inserts, dot insert, parentheses, capital insert, and then the string, these trending topics. And as you can see, it's already updated for justice, hashtag justice for Ahmad. And then we run the loop. So like I said, that's quite a bit of changes from the first video. And even though we've already only added 2 functions. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to continue watching me build this Twitter automation app for a friend and his business. Or also subscribe if you want to keep watching me build a digital assistant. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it if you did. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, world.